Hey guys, Kerry Arth here, as you can see from the webcam and everything. I wasn't going to turn the webcam on for this, but I couldn't really think of anything else to put in the background except for my face, but it's fine because you can always switch to a different tab or look away or close your eyes or something if you don't want to look at me. I don't look the best at the moment. I've tried to make it so the camera doesn't make me look like I'm a walking corpse, but it's determined to make me look even worse than I actually do, so that's nice of it. Um, I've made a couple of videos like this in the past. Uh, Probably not quite as I guess blunt as this one's going to be. Um, Whenever I've talked about, I've really started this off really badly, but um, most of you already know that I have clinical depression and that I had a really bad bout of it a couple of years ago, where I had a severe depressive episode. And I made a video not that long ago, I'm knocking stuff over, saying that I'd started to suffer from it a bit more again. And I kind of explained why that was, and what had happened with my daughter and all of that stuff, and that we thought that was the trigger for it, like the catalyst to set it off again. Um, since I made that video, I kind of didn't feel better, but I was kind of stable and staying about the same. Not great, but I was coping and I was functioning all right, and I was sort of making it day to day, and it wasn't too bad. It was manageable, I guess, is probably the terms to use. Um, since then, especially over the last maybe week and a half, 2 weeks maximum, uh, things have things have got a lot worse. Um, I've been to the doctor to try and find out what it is, and through different tests and kind of looking at what's happened over the last few months, the current thinking is that it's. I need to make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. Hang on, let me see if I can find the window. Um, it looks like the problem that I'm currently having, aside from the whole clinical depression thing, or at least affecting it, is something called ADT tachyphylaxis. I think I'm pronouncing that properly. It's antidepressant tachyphylaxis, which is basically fancy medical speak for the antidepressants that I'm on don't work anymore. They don't do anything. I've either built up a tolerance or something's happened, and they're just not effective. So I'm taking a drug called fluoxetine, which actually, if you find the Wikipedia entry for antidepressant tachyphylaxis, it's listed as an SSRI, which is subject to it, and it's common, and it happens a fair bit. In fact, it's got its own sort of non-medical name, which is Prozac poop out, which is a terrible name, but it is what it is. The drugs I'm taking to manage my depression no longer work. Um, and to say they've kind of taken me out with them is kind of putting it mildly. Um, as I say, I've been to the doctors, and we're kind of trying to work out a plan for what to do, how to move forward, and how to basically make it so that I'm better again. But for the moment, it's not. I don't think difficult is the right word, and I don't think I've ever really spoken properly. Not honestly, that's not fair. I have spoken honestly about the problem before, but I've always tried to be very matter of fact about it and kind of present it as this is what's happened. This is what I'm doing to fix it. And something that I've noticed I tend to say in videos that I've made about this in the past is, "Don't worry, I'll be fine." It's probably a lot more to do with the depression itself that I don't feel like I can say that this time, because I don't feel like it's appropriate to try and pass it off as being something that it's not. Before, when I said I was ill and I hadn't realised how ill I was, that was sort of one thing. Um, the way that I am now is completely different. Before it was a bit of a problem and it was manageable and we could just about get through it, and we were building up, ways for me to push past it and get back to being healthy again. This is not the same. I don't have the kind of baseline that I need to have to start tackling it at the moment. The antidepressants were providing that baseline. They were keeping me at a level whereby I could use other techniques that I've been taught through therapy to manage it, and that level that they were supposed to keep me at has disappeared. It's just vanished from under my feet. I don't have that sort of that platform from which to start. It's gone, and as a sort of result of that, and I guess the speed at which it disappeared, the various techniques and all the stuff I was taught to try and manage it have stopped working as well. They've gone too. So the two main, not the two main methods, the only two methods that I had to control the illness don't work. And fixing it is gonna make me feel even worse than I already do, which is impressive because I already feel worse than I ever have before, which again I suppose is impressive in a way. And then he said it's depressing, but that kind of I think that probably is not accurate, more just redundant. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I could try and explain further kind of how I feel and what's going on in my head, but I don't know if you'd want to listen to that or if that's even appropriate. I don't think it is. I think that the easiest way to sort of put it without going too far is to say that within maybe 14 days or maybe a little bit less, I've gone from being able to look after myself and look after my daughter whilst my wife's at work and still be able to work, to having to call for help because of suicidal tendencies. And if that doesn't give you an indication as to how quickly things have fallen apart, I don't really know what else will. So for the moment, probably for a good week or so, I'm going to take a break from the channel. I've just about managed to make videos, and I think some of them have been okay. I can't really tell where they stand in terms of quality, and to be honest, I'm probably going to annoy you just by even thinking that that's important right now, but it is to me. And I hope they've been okay, but sensibly, I can't do it right now, and I need to be in a better position before I can again. I don't really know what else to say. Hopefully, I'll be back to normal sooner rather than later. I'm not going to disappear. I'm still going to be on Twitter, and I'll still be on the Discord server and stuff, and I'll still be trying to talk to you guys, but I think it's important that I take like 4 or 5 days, at the very least, just to try and, I guess, come to terms with what's going on and try and get myself in a more stable place before I carry on trying to make content. And I know you guys will understand, and I'm really thankful for everything that you do support me. Even if it probably doesn't look like I am, but to be honest, the overwhelming thing that I feel at the moment is just frustration more than anything else, because I've already done this once, twice, God knows how many times, and I don't want to have to keep doing it again. But unfortunately, I don't have any choice because it seems I've been saddled with this for however long I've been saddled with it, and there's going to be setbacks that cause things like this to happen. And I know I've just got to deal with it, but when you just want to either run away or just crawl in a hole and hope it all goes away, it makes it difficult to do that. And I've kind of got the added thing of just feeling completely trapped. I mean, there's no escape from it. There's no getting away from it, especially not this time, because of the nature of what's happened. We've got to deal with it, and I know that when I have dealt with it, I will feel better, and I will feel stupid for getting so worked up, but I can't really help it. The thing with, I don't know, it's different for everyone who has depression, but the thing for me is that my self-confidence and my ability to self-regulate just go out the window. And it's like there's a permanent argument going on in my head. And now that I've got Eve, the side of me that I should be able to keep quiet and I should be able to ignore and I should be able to hold back with the techniques I've been taught and with the antidepressants is louder than ever and blaming me for everything that has happened with Eve, and for which makes no sense. When I only gave up pretty much everything to be with her when she was first born in hospital, so I don't know what else I was supposed to do, but apparently the voice in the back of my head, which speaks with my voice, thinks that it wasn't enough, and I can't get it to be quiet. Now, I try really hard not to get angry, especially with myself, but I can't really help it right now because I'm just sick of it, to be honest. I didn't really intend for this video to be like this or for it to go on as long as it has, but even though I kind of feel like it's important that you know what's going on, and you know that if I'm out of sorts, if I say something to you that is not fair or not appropriate, or I make a comment and you just think, what the hell is going on with you? I'm sorry. It's not me at the moment. It's really difficult to talk about this stuff without getting upset and without getting angry at myself. And I was kind of hoping I'd manage it, but I haven't. Which again, I guess, it just kind of goes to show you how bad things are at the moment, because I've talked about this stuff in public before, I've made videos about it before, and I've always tried to be very, I guess, very matter of fact and very restrained in the way I approach it, and I've always tried to make it so that you do know what's happening, but it's not heavy, if that makes sense. And I realise I failed in that this time, but I guess sometimes you just kind of have to be as open as possible, and I feel like this might be one of those times. I really don't want there to be any sort of doubt as to what's happening. Not that I think you would, that's not fair, but yeah. Thank you again for watching what I make and supporting me and allowing me to do what I do. I do appreciate it more than you'll know, and I really hope that I can get back to doing it as quickly as possible, because it is my way of providing at least something towards my family, and it's a way for me to stay at home with my daughter and also work at the same time, but it's also a huge deal for me personally because it's allowing me to do something that not even that long ago I didn't think I was capable of doing, and I've always had doubts as to whether I could actually do this stuff by myself, and I found out that I can, and I really enjoy doing it. And I want to keep making videos, and I want to keep entertaining you, and I want to keep just doing stuff that you like. And I do need to take a break, but I don't want it to be a long break, because I think it's important for me to keep doing it. Probably more for me than for you. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's happening, and I'm gonna. I'll be gone for a little bit, not fully. Just don't expect any uploads over the next sort of 4 or 5 days. Just so I can get my head straight, just so I can get things in perspective and take a step back and try and work out how I'm going to continue doing what I want to do as I work through what's happened. And if you're still here by then, thank you very, very much. And hopefully I'll speak to you again soon.